Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've got another night of the Australian University Esports League. We're gonna have two series tonight, so it will be some exciting Dota. I just want to let everyone know that these are replays. We missed some exciting action between four teams battling it out, so you know we gotta pull it out of the hat, and we gotta at least be able to show everyone the beautiful gameplay that these teams were able to play. So just to keep in mind, these are still best of twos, of course, for all of the group stages. We've got those best of twos, which is the beautiful thing about it. And you know, it's I like the best of two for the group stages. You know, best of ones can be a little bit rough. Best of threes in a group stage, it can mess around with the schedule. Best of twos seems just right, and that's exactly what we got. And you know, why not kick things off pretty early here? We should though give a big shout out to the sponsors before we do get underway. First up, we got AOC. They're the best viewing experience, a global leader in the monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, AOC have delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. Today, the company offers a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, or gaming. Chatime provides fresh iced tea. Try the new range today at your local store. Chatime is the fastest growing iced tea franchise in Australia. There are over 120 Chatime tea breweries with a commitment to quality ingredients and mix-ins and a flair for innovative flavor combinations to brew nothing but the best iced teas. We got Indomie. Feed your game. Try out any of their flavors today. Indomie noodles are made from carefully selected ingredients, the best quality flour and fresh spices from the natural resources of Indonesia. Give it a unique and delicious taste. As a result of Indomie's success, their range has expanded to 14 different products. And lastly, we have Rig, what it takes to win. Rig develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. Join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience. That's all our sponsors. A big shout out to them for making this possible. And then we are going to kick things underway here. So a best of two, we got Adelaide Uni Esports taking on UNSW Raw here. With that being said, we'll get the we'll get the draft started and kick things off. That's a black screen. That's not a good way to start. Oh, we're back. There we go. Takes a little bit of time to kick in sometimes, but here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be our first match of the best of two here. It's our first series of the night. Adelaide Uni Esports up against UNSW Raw. This is going to be an exciting one. We already saw a couple of days ago two of these teams battle it out. I was very impressed with those performances in that series. And now we get to see four extra teams tonight, so this is exciting just to get to see the meta that each team's kind of drafting and what they like to prioritize as well, which is the big thing. So very excited for that. I'm intrigued as well. Like we saw yesterday, not yesterday, sorry, but we saw on Sunday it was a pretty even kind of game. The fact that Mark's team was able to come in, you know, they were playing with a stand-in for a little bit, but because good old Gubala wasn't there, and then they still, you know, won game one with a stand-in, then they came back and won game two. So that was UOW Esports versus ANU. So that was a good series from them. Yeah, and now we get to see how this one's going to end up faring here. A first pick Tusk from the boys over on Radiant. A support that we're starting to see a lot more. I mean, don't even get me started on Tusk. This is such an incredible hero. What Tusk is able to provide your team, it's stupid amount. I mean, you're pretty much the only support that can offer your team a capability of running a tri-lane successfully. I think there are a lot of heroes that just cannot physically play in a tri-lane, but Tusk, because of how he amplifies heroes early on. You want more heroes around you because of the tag team, and that's very similar to the Luna. And we see Europe are one of the few regions that actually have a lot of emphasis on the Luna. They really like to play that in a tri-lane if that's ever picked up, just because of the aura. And you really want to utilize that with more heroes in the range of Luna. So
Grims.
we are going to see though at least the double opener and the supports from Radiant. So they're going to go Tusk, Grimstroke, and then Adelaide follow up with the Undying. So just the classic Undying, really strong laning stage support. You can kind of taper off a little bit throughout the game. You've got some weak stages and then strong stages. Ultra late game feels pretty strong if you can get there. That reincarnation tombstone super annoying. The mid game's always a bit awkward if the enemy team has a way to deal with the tombstone, but your early game is very strong with the Undying, and it does make it very difficult for Radiant on how they want to try and draft this, because it's not easy in regards to at least what offlane heroes you want to pick up, because it feels very awkward drafting like a strength hero, because strength matchup versus the Undying in the lane's very much going to suffer. And we actually see Adelaide, they pick up a Clockwork here, so pretty honestly, if anyone's got flexibility, it's really just the Clockwork, I guess. You know, Toss can kind of be played as a 3, but we very rarely see that. The Clockwork can kind of be played as a 3 as well, but realistically it's more a support. But you know, it looks like a pretty good game, a way to get on top of the Grimstroke here. These two supports don't have any way to get out of the cogs, and they are a little vulnerable to the Clockwork getting on top of you. I mean, the Tusk, I guess Tusk can with the Snowball actually, so he's okay. But I guess if you Snowball into the enemy team, you know, it's not like someone like Marauder or something that can leap away, but actually back to the safety of your team instead of the grasping hands of the enemy team.
Dire team ban.
But at least you take a look, Adelaide are going to have a very big vision advantage right now. They've got the Undying Tombstone, more than likely going to get dropped on the higher ground in a lot of the fights if they take them around the choke point, which is super important. You got the Clockwork with the Rocket Flare, and I like the Beastmaster ban, honestly. Like, it's someone who works very well with the Tusk. I think that Radiant should go with a Furion, because I think Beastmaster and Furion are probably the best combos with the Tusk. Heroes that really like to just constantly right click, utilizing that tag team. And it's also the fact that the Furion, why I like it so much this game, is because it's an intel hero. You're not, the strength matchup versus the Undying, which we've already highlighted, isn't too favorable. So at least you're gonna have that aspect heading into it. I mean, and Adelaide, like, that's one thing you look at as well. Like, I actually would love it if they pick it up here, because Adelaide don't deal with waves at all. Their two supports picked up have very minimal wave clear. So this is a bit of a weakness right now that Adelaide have, the lack of lockdown, the lack of wave clear. Their lanes are really strong and their fighting potential is really strong, but you might get caught out here with some of your weaknesses early, and that's a big issue when you go for your both double support opener in the first phase. You can be very vulnerable to illusion heroes getting picked up. You know, actually Radiant ban out the Phantom Lancer. You can be vulnerable to like a Beastmaster, Lycan, Furion, any heroes that want to just rush down objectives, and any summons and illusions. So, but at least with this, I mean, even banning the anti-mage, that's a lot of cores here. Got PL Storm, AM gone, Ember gone as well. I don't mind the Ember ban. They don't have a lot of lockdown, like we said, so.
10 seconds remaining.
Let's see what Adelaide want to go here for the third pick. I mean, they do have Ultra last pick, so more than likely this is going to will be their offlane, so they just pick up a Mars. Super strong offlane hero. You very good team fight AoE control. Like Adelaide in team fights have very good control, like area control. Pogs, Tombstone,
Dire
Arena.
team pick.
But this is what we were kind of bringing up, like with the Undying Clockwork. Now you're versing a Death Prophet who takes objectives very fast, and you do have a lineup that wants to fight, but this Death Prophet versus the tanky heroes that Adelaide have, they're just going to suck them dry. The
10
Spirit Siphon
seconds
percent
remaining.
damage is super strong this game, and you want to be taking objectives early, so the
5
fact that Adelaide
seconds
don't really
remaining.
have a way to be able to shove up the lanes with ease can make it very difficult then for how they want to position across the map. Because DP is just going to run down these objectives, and usually you can kind of kill the creeps, and then DP has to stand their ground and tank up the tower. But overall, I
Radiant
really,
team
really
pick.
like the DP pick.
Void incarnate.
Full melee. Adelaide going for the full melee strat at the moment. All right. Not a lot of lockdown for the Void Spirit.
10
Soulbind's a bit
seconds remaining.
annoying. You've got the silence as well from the Death Prophet. I
Radiant
can't
team
imagine the
ban.
mid lane's going to be too fun at all. They're going to pick up their carry in the 18th pick here for Raw. So just looking for their off lane. They've got flexibility potential with the Death Prophet going in the off lane if they want to. This is something we've been seeing a lot lately with the
10
Death Prophet
seconds
playing
remaining.
as a 3, even a 5 as well, instead of just the flat 2.
5
So
seconds remaining.
DP can be played in multiple lanes depending on how they want to do so from UNSW. But it's I like the carry
Dire
matchup.
team
Juggernaut
ban.
can easily deal with
Radiant
the
team ban.
Undying Tombstone. You do like you're going up against a BKB piercing stun with the hook shot, which it goes back and forth because like the Juggernaut Blade Fury is really good in against the battery assault and inside the cogs, but you always have to keep in mind of that
10 seconds remaining.
BKB pierce. It's always nice if Juggernaut,
5
because if
seconds
Jug's not
remaining.
going against anyone with a magic immunity stun, then you can just play. It's a different game at Dota where Jug can just push out the lanes a lot more aggressively, take a lot more of the aggressive farm as long as he has enough mana for Blade Fury and TP, and he also, of course, needs to have a TP available as well. But it's a hero that's going to help out. Like, it's a lot of physical damage that Radiant have at the moment.
Dire
Death
team
Prophet
ban.
with the Exorcism, Jug very physical damage reliant, that Blade Fury early, Tusk is going to amplify you with the tag team, and honestly, Tusk with the shards and Snowball, you don't really max it out
Radiant
at a
team
very
pick.
early stage, so we're not going to see like too much of that magic damage come into play till later on, but there will already be BKBs by then. So I think, what is this 3? I have to imagine they're looking for their off lane. Again, I really want something like a Furion. You could run the
10
DP
seconds
off lane
remaining.
actually. Like it looks pretty good. With the Tusk, your attack
5
speed's very
seconds
slow,
remaining.
but at least you're a ranged and not a strength hero versus the Undying in the lane, which I think is a big factor. So even though you're not going to have full synergy with the Tusk, at least you should have a pretty good lane. Your lane should still be pretty good
Dire
versus the
team
Void Spirit
pick.
anyway. So let's see what they go for. They're going to Viper. Okay. So they are all in on lanes right now from Radiant. Like Viper's a strong laner. Jug Grimstroke's an incredibly strong lane. DP's a strong laner. Tusk
10
as well.
seconds remaining.
So what's this last pick gonna be here for Adelaide?
5 seconds remaining.
There and I like the Viper pick as well, just for the magic damage route, because they were lacking some magic damage. It's a bit of a greedier pick. They've got a lot of flexibility. You don't know if the Viper's off lane or if the Viper's mid versus the Void Spirit. So this last pick from Adelaide, the carry, looking for the win condition they have at the moment. They've got a lot of playmaking heroes, but... And they're going to go for the Monkey King.
Choose your hero.
5 melee. I mean, they've got, again, a lot of really, really good ground control. So many AoE abilities. But... Pogan Australian. Uh, I mean, this doesn't seem like it's going to be a fun Monkey King lane. Can they go aggro versus the Jug? But then you sack the Mars, which I think you might be able to sack the Mars, but he's not going to get like anything versus a Viper off. Ah. I want to see how they're laning it, but this looks very rough. Let's see how they lane it. That's the big thing. I want to see how they try and play the lanes at the moment here from Adelaide, but this is a lot of good Roche taking potential right now from UNSW. Tusk with the Death Prophet. You even have the Jug once you get to that stage as well. Super strong with the tag team. So let's see who's got the items at the moment. So it's gonna be, it's actually Viper mid. Okay. Well, that's a horrible matchup for the Void Spirit. I wonder how this offlane goes. I wonder how this offlane goes right now. Because that's a Tusk Death Prophet versus Undying Monkey. I mean, there's two really strong heroes, but your core is range, so Monkey can't trade as well. But they can definitely trade, I think, early levels. Like, if Radiant throw away a couple kills at the start, then they could be in a bit of a tricky spot. 7 Tangos and a Windlace to start. Look at old Clary. Alright, so here we go, though. Game 1 between the boys over on UNSW Raw, Adelaide University Esports. Should actually try and... Who goes? Be the smart... I have to swap them around. Alright, so what do we got? Just a cheeky old... Oh, surely. Yeah, I miss the days of level 1 Roche. I wonder if it'll ever come back. I don't think so. Oh. Well, this is what we were saying. You gotta be careful. I mean, if the Tusk feeds away a couple early kills, then an Undying a Monkey lane could be a bit awkward, but... they're gonna be alright.
The battle begins.
Just make sure you run yourself away, boys. Can't get caught there. So it's gonna be a 2 for 2 with the bounties, it looks like. Pretty even way to start this one off. Again, I think it's going to be all on the lanes. How are you able to come out on top in the lanes? Because it's not going to be a whole lot of fun here. I think you can go back and forth. Levels is super important. Grimstroke Jug's a super strong lane combo, but you know, if the Grimstroke gets caught out, the Mars and Clockwork have a lot of kill potential. Top lane, the Tuska's got boots, so this means they're not looking... More than likely, Xeon's probably going to try and just pull the wave, which I find... I mean, they both went Windlace boots versus the Monkey, so they are playing for mobility, which is something you need to do versus someone like a lane dominating hero for the Monkey. But I wonder if he's going to play for pulls instead. Just drag the wave back.
I couldn't help myself.
But I would have really liked to see Radiant try and go for first blood with the Tusk. That's one big thing that I think you have to do when you have this hero. You know, put the Tusk down bot, have a tri lane, or put the Grimstroke up top, start with the tri lane, get first blood, come down instantly before the wave connects. I think you really miss out on that tag team factor. And now you're just giving like a kind of a free lane away. Like at least mid, it's not going to be good for TK. Like he's really going to suffer. The Viper, every extra level you get up in that poison attack, you just absolutely dumpster the mid matchup. So TK is really going to suffer here. You already see... I like this though. This is some pretty strong awareness, honestly, from the Void Spirit. He's not going to get the stack off. At least the... the thought process is there from the Void, recognizing that he's probably going to have to get a lot of his farm from the jungle, because this is not going to be a fun lane. If he gets 2 denies like that, he's going to be pretty happy though. And what's about it with the rotations? Who we got? I mean, Radiant... Either team doesn't have the greatest heroes to rotate. Nothing like an Earthshaker, nothing like an Earth Spirit. Tusk with boots probably will see the rotations. He's actually already thinking about coming through. So they're actually kind of full sacking top, it looks like. DP's only got 7 last hits. So as the game goes on, I mean, it's going to be a pretty good monkey game. They've got very, very strong ways to enable the monkey. DK doesn't have a point in to simulate, so he might be in trouble here. A little bit of protection back with the Resonant Pulse, but that tag team followed with the slow from the poison attack is plenty of damage here. Boys on Radiant, going to be able to pick up that first blood there. Great rotation. Do see Agent P's taking a little bit of harassment. At least the Death Prophet's getting experience though. They've done a... Tusk did a good job early to block this small camp with his body, so it stopped the small camp pull coming through from the Undying. So now he just has to use the hard camp, and it's a lot more difficult. So you see at least the lane, like Undying should be going back and stacking this. Because of how Tusk is positioning, yeah, he's doing a really good job to prevent the pull. Or you've got to go through there, because you do have that tree cut. But the fact that the Death Prophet's level 4, have to be really happy about that. There will be an illusion rune up top though. Clockwork? He actually might end up falling. They're even going to chuck up the Inkswell on Viper just so he can get a little bit of extra movement speed, but unfortunately for the Viper, didn't have enough mana to continue chasing there and using that poison attack, so he'll keep his life. Doesn't have any mana though, which is a bit of an issue. Has he got any mangoes? No, he's got tread, so actually Viper's impact right now, TK is going to get pretty lucky here with the next wave or two. He's got bottle as well, so he's going to be able to sustain a decent amount of damage and actually get some last hits. The Viper's core is going to have to go all the way back to base. How's his bot side going? Mars getting a lot of last hits. Jug as well, 22 last hits. Relatively even right now down at this bottom side of the map. Still trying to see what carry I'd feel comfortable playing with. I mean, it's a lot of physical damage like we brought up from Radiant. So once you do drop that Wukongs, Monkey's going to get an immense amount of extra damage mitigation. But Psycho's free farming. And this is definitely something you have to be worried about. Because they heavily enable the Monkey King in a game like this. With all their crowd control. Wukongs is going to do so much work as, well, Radiant. They bring the Tusk down bot. Snowball in. Inkswell. Not going to find the damage here as Bogan. Fortunately, the Cog's not going to push it back. A beautiful timing there with the Blade Fury is going to continue on with the chase. They might actually turn on the Juggernaut though. The rotation from the Undying. They get enough health back from the Soul Rip, so at least they'll punish the Juggernaut. I think Xeon, is he going to be okay actually? Battery Salt does expire. Master Jeff has got 2 points up on the Soul Root, but is able to get the Snowball underneath that wave. So getting the kill on the Jug there, they're going to be pretty happy considering the Mars looked like he was dead meat. Visibility. Making it out. It does now leave the DP in a solo matchup. We're already seeing DP have a relatively good time. Missed that last hit, that's 2 likes. We're getting pretty close to the level 6s here. I want to see Dye shove this lane in. Get that Mars 6 as fast as possible for the Jug, because then you've got kill threat. Should be pretty close to it once that catapult dies. Clockwork. Just gonna close the distance here. Beautiful shots as well. Jeff once again in a great spot to be able to get some health back with the Soul Rip, but it just will not matter. The damage from the Tusk early on with this tag team is just through the roof. It's something that you're very much unable to handle.
Battle Fury!
As we take a look, it looks like the Juggernaut, he's got the Blade Fury queued up already, and Psycho's actually going to be going for the Maelstrom, it looks like. He even gets a nice neutral item as well. He already has some pretty nutty attack range. Now that's going to get boosted up a little bit as well. 50 extra. Thanks to the broom handle. You'll take the damage, especially the armor as well this game. That's definitely something you have to keep in mind. But I'm going to see Raiding group up with the Death Prophet now. DP has this Exorcism available, lacking a little bit of mana, so Leon taking a fight actually in the river. Dire, they've got some heroes nearby. Even the Mars is going to TP in as well, dropping the ultimate. That's plenty of damage to find the Viper, as two will end up falling. And Viper's actually going for an Orchid build. This is a very, very greedy build. If that Orchid does not come online at a good timing here, then Dire are going to have a lot of ways to get out of it. I mean, Monkey can just go Maelstrom BKB if he's really worried. Void's going to have more than likely a Yule Scepter. Your Mars Yule Scepter's great this game as well. Psycho should get brought down here. Omni tag team, way too much damage. Nice rotation. And exactly like I said, I want to see them go top, play with the Death Prophet. You've got the Exorcism, so you should be playing with this hero. It's the strongest in the game with that ultimate active, and they do just that. Heading up to the top side, putting pressure on the tier 1 tower. They've got great vision in the area as well. You can see they're scouting out any movements through the jungle to defensively connect to the tier 1 tower at the top side of the map. So they're just going to look to trade. They've got the Undying and Mars setting up down bot. The DP should instantly TP bot. You've got Exo for about a third duration left. Go down, protect that tower. Don't let him take it, and she will do so.
Middle tower is under attack.
You do have to be careful though. Like, you need some extra heroes now because the backline Grimstroke, he's going to get caught as well. They might just dive the Death Prophet. He's actually going to try and push out another wave aggressively. I believe they saw what the Death Prophet was, but he's actually moving aggressive to sneak up and be a thief in the night, steal the bounty away. Nicely done. Is there a catch? He's even got a sniper full wave as well. Cheeky. Nice little play from Agent P. I like that. They took the top tower, TP'd bot, defended that, got the bounty, sniped the mid wave. DP's honestly played a very, very solid laning stage so far. When it didn't have too good of a laning stage, mainly just because they didn't put enough emphasis on enabling this Death Prophet. Tusk was making a lot more rotations across the map. Mid lane though, Rena, Viper once again is going to get bursted down. I'm going to reiterate, man, if this Viper keeps dying, this Orchid build is going to start to feel really, really bad. Like, this is an item to snowball. You cannot have this occurring.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know, like, is he going... I don't know why he's going Orchid. Because, I mean, Yosep is such a key item for the Void Spirit. Void's actually going to be able to catch up the Grimstroke here. Just an easy setup. I mean, he's still going to get stunned. A bit of a misuse with the abilities there from the Void. Doesn't have any bottle charges as well. Grimsack gonna run back to them. If he actually kept running, probably would have kept his life, but Void with a quick TP out, he's A-okay. Unfortunately, Undying's gonna get chased down though, so Jeff will be the one to get punished with the overstep there, but you're more than happy with that. The sacrificial lamb play coming through for the Undying. And now Dire, I mean, they've got 2 cores, first and second place in the net worth. They have to be pretty happy with how this game's going so far. I mean, the Monkey King almost has this Maelstrom, 0, 1, and 1, 88 last hits, the highest in the game, compared up with the highest net worth. But once again, we highlighted before that the Death Prophet, strongest hero in the game with the Exism, once again has that ultimate backup. So I want to see Radiant group along with Agent P. You want to use this Exism as early as possible. Just because it's got such a long cooldown, you want to put it down as soon as possible. They're going to do that. Dire, can they fight into it? They've got Arena. DK's level 10. Jeff has got Tombstone as well, and they do have heroes nearby. They can hold off another wave here. Radiant, I would like to see them wrap around with a smoke. Nice attempt with the shards. This could be a decent spot. I mean, Jeff gets a Tombstone on the high ground. They're going to be careful on the choke point, but now with the hook shot forward, Clockwork finds the Viper. They're going to be able to drop the Arena along with the Wukons. There's the combo. The beautiful crowd control. As Dire rip him apart in the river. A choke point fight like that is heavily going to enable Adelaide University. A great fight for them coming over. Dropping the ultimates. That's an Exism now that's been wasted. And now they're all grouped up around mid to try and take this tier 1 tower. And honestly, I mean, Radiant don't have glyphs. So yeah, this tower's going to end up falling here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Awesome job from Dire. I mean, you do have to keep in mind, you know, if there is one shining spot right now, it's the fact that the Juggernaut is still freely farming across the map. Top of the net worth. He's got one component left right now in the Battle Fury mid lane. Oh, it's alright. Yeah, one component left right now in the Battle Fury. This is a hard stack to farm.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You gonna be able to do it? He's not gonna be able to do it.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Let's go Blade Fury back up. Man, that took him so long, actually.
Dire's middle tower.
Meanwhile, Radiant were able to take the T1 tower mid, so it looks like Dire just weren't even thinking about contesting. I mean, they did have their ultimates. Arena was back up. They had the Tombstone. They had the hook shot. Looks like they were just looking to get set up. And yeah, I mean, Bogan Australia now has Yule's. TK's almost got the Yule Scepter as well. So this Orchid, it's just not going to do anything. Monkey's going Maelstrom Ag, so you're going to farm incredibly fast. That means your next item, more than likely a BKB, will come out at a very early timing. And I like this smoke. They're smoking to their vision. Unfortunately, they're going to catch the support of the Grimstroke. They were probably hoping for a little bit more of a juicier target. But you take that. You get a support where you can. You get a kill where you can. Nice positioning for the Grimstroke, though. At least it's a core that's not dying. I'd say Radiant... Oh, they're actually going to fight here, Dire. No ball on in. Psycho could be in trouble here. Hookshot Cogs pushes back Agent P. And with the choke point fight once again, they're going to be able to cancel the Wukong's initiate usage of it, but it doesn't matter as Dorina dropped with the bound the strike. Even the Viper's going to end up running into trouble as well, as 3 will end up falling here from UNSW Raw. And that is the Orchid now completed 16.5 minutes into the game. But the only issue is that you picked up the Orchid in your grave. And Dire are looking to continue with their strong early game at the moment. They're actually even going to walk down mid and put a little pressure on the T2 tower. You cannot fight into Dire around a choke point like that. It's just not going to work. Arena, Wukong's, Tombstone, Hookshot, even the Void Spirit's got a decent AoE. It will not work. You cannot do that. We've seen the past couple of fights. It's been in a choke point, and look what's happened. So they have to open up where they want to fight, and to do this, you need towers. They've taken mid, they've taken top. The issue is that looks like they're going to smoke underneath an observer ward, though. They didn't ping it out. What are they thinking with this? Alright, they want to kill. Jeff, nice positioning. Smoke's gonna pop. They get the vision. Again, he can drop the Tombstone in a pretty decent spot. The hook shot, not really gonna clip onto anyone, but the Boundless set up with the cogs. It's so much damage. TK has got the follow-up as well with the Astral Resonant Pulse. They get melted. TK triple kill. They turn to the Viper. This game now in big trouble here, as they should be able to find a team wipe. Bogan finds the connection. The Blade Fury not going to keep you alive as Dire can continue chasing. Man, oh man, the team fight execution from Adelaide University. 2,300 gold swing. They've got a 4,000 net worth lead. They're going to be able to swing that into an objective as well, as TK goes crazy on the Void Spirit. A stupid amount of damage from him. And that was, oh no.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, the Jug just bought Battle Fury as well. And now you take a look. I mean, the Monkey King, who has not died in a very long time, he's now all of a sudden 2k ahead pretty much of the Juggernaut. And this is off the factor of, these deaths. Jug picked up that Battle Fury and you don't really want to be fighting with it. But now this 3,400 gold just down the drain. I don't know. I just can't look at the Orchid no more. It's hurting. It's hurting too much. 5,000 net worth lead. Take a look at the experiences. About 9,000 as well, as they might even get another pick off here. Jug's got to be careful. Run to the Clockwork. And they've got the hook shot so they can cancel the TP. The rest of Radiant are coming over, but once again, Cogs, Tombstone going to get dropped as well with the Boundless. Jug's falling incredibly low, but at least with the rest of the team, they will keep him alive long enough. There's a Tombstone up to the northern side, I should say the arena, and finds a kill on top of the task. So 1 for 1, but a lot of ultimates committed from either team as TK's hunting. Got a double damage rune to try and find a pick off. See if he can catch out a straggler here from Radiant, who are trying to disengage. Man, that's already Aghanim's picked up with the Maelstrom. Psycho is so goddamn farmed. He's actually so farmed. That's crazy.
That's nice. Death tax.
We've already seen TK's control in well, we've seen what he can do in fights. Now he's going to get the Aghanims picked up pretty soon as well. So this is going to be an immense amount of extra damage that's already getting added on to what they are doing currently. And he's even going Mage Slayer on Psycho. Interesting. How do we feel about this? Well, we feel like Viper's probably dead. Or is he? Yeah, that's so funny. Arena stuns the monkey. You miss the spear. I mean, he's still probably going to die. Radiant, they are coming down, however. Viper takes away a lot of the health pool of the Monkey King, at least with the wrap through, trying to connect. They find the kill on the Clockwork. Dude, that's so unfortunate. Mars just kind of... That was a bit of a wonky fight there. Yeah, how do we feel about this Mage Slayer? Okay, it's not bad. Interesting. I want to watch it actually. See how it feels on the monkey. But a game where Adelaide just in the driver's seat. This is pretty much getting to a stage where it's all on the Juggernaut right now. I mean, going for this on Yasha. Jug's getting a decent amount of farm, but the rest of the team just is not able to keep up. And it looks like Dire smoked up, looking to try and connect to the Monkey King, who's invis at the moment as well. They did smoke before TK had the Aghanims, which is my only issue, considering how close he is. So that smoke's going to be for naught here as Radiant themselves. The play that I can see Radiant making is like a potential sneak into Roche, because they've got tag team with Jug, with Exism, so they can very much take Roche on at a super fast pace. The only issue is that they really don't feel comfortable fighting right now. Although you do have level 2 in Exism, so that is a big spike right now with the Death Prophet ulti. But I'd say honestly, Adelaide have to be the ones that are super happy with the status quo of this game. 5,000 net worth lead. They're just picking up a couple of their items now.
Middle tower is under attack.
With the Aghanims completed for the Void Spirit. Mid lane, Agent P. Ooh, might still be in trouble as TK should be able to cancel the TP. Did use both the ultimate charges, but it looks like Radiant is going to try and move out the area here. So, a little bit of a commitment. Mars can still find another jump. He's got the blink and the yours. He's actually not going to keep chasing there. Looks like the rest of the team are okay with the pick off with the Death Prophet. Space for the Juggernaut. That's honestly all I can say. Jug's going for the Aghanims as the next item here. Does farm incredibly fast, and you do see that the Jug is keeping up in the net worth. But the rest of the team are not. You're still Nether Toxin, not maxed out, so you don't have a way to really farm fast in the jungle. DP had a very good start, but now is not looking too strong. And that's just a free pick off on the Grimstroke. Easy jump.
What's the opposite of regicide?
And that's right next to a wave that's getting pushed in as well. So they're probably just going to think about trying to take this tier 2 tower down. But Viper, they got the vision, and man, Void Spirit's ability to be able to jump from so far away is just through the roof. He even gets a courier as well. Just a little bit of salt in the wounds right now. Mega killing streak right for Psycho. Tier 2 tower is going to end up falling, the first one of the game. And Juggernaut's in trouble up top as well. They've still got the hook shot. Issue is the creeps are being a bit of a nuisance. But now he's popped the Blade Fury, WDK. Can he find the angle? This time he can. He's got the ward, so perfectly scouts out. He'll get the combination with the Mars, and going to be able to find it. And they even finally getting the kill on the Death Prophet. Jeff's chasing this hero down. They might be able to connect. Found the strike. It's a long stun. Should be enough. He's even going to drop the ultimate as well. And DP's even going to get picked off here. So the Death Prophet, this is just, I mean, it's all falling off a cliff here, right?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Struggling to see what Radiant are going to be able to do. Such an interesting item. The animation's cool, I think, over like whoever you hit. Probably the wrong sound to have with this, like, dark matter orb. I said, Aegis picked up. You were already pretty much immortal. Only one death. Very close to flawless. Now, TK's got the jump as well. Got to be careful because he's pretty deep, but he's away from the rest of the team, so the Soulbind's not going to do anything. They do have a ward in the jungle right now, Radiant. They're thinking about pushing up the mark, but the arena! Mars finds 4. They're going to drop the X's, but they don't have the Wukongs to be able to pair it up with. It looks like it does not matter, though. Tombstone in the back. Juggernaut's able to deal with it, but Radiant can't tank through the damage. Jug is along with the Omni Slash. He's able to find 2 kills, but he's going to get caught out. UNSW sets up for the Remnant. They drag him back now with the Jingu stacks. He's going to get shredded down. The Monkey King not able to get the extra control thanks to Blade Fury being back and available. Man, if they had the Wukongs there, that would have been a sure win fight for Adelaide, but they end up trading a 3 for 3. You see the Omni Slash, when you pair it up with that tag team, it's going to do a crap load of damage.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
They will still end up losing their second tier 2 tower of the game. Unfortunately for them, they're going to get a couple kills, but no real net worth damage out of it. I mean, at least Jug gets some kills, keeps his life, so now he is can potentially have 2 components completed the Aghanims. I mean, we'd see what he can do, but I mean, now it just means you itemize to deal with the Jug. Like, you got Yules on 2 heroes. You need armor. Undying's actually going for a mech. This is an item that we don't see too much. At least the little bit of armor for the Undying is going to be nice. Even Clockwork's going for a Lotus Orb. So it's just all on armor right now. It's going to be an immense amount of physical damage that will come out. The Jug is a lot of their damage output. So as long as Dire are able to recognize this, then they can play accordingly. And it looks like they're playing accordingly anyway. Grouped up as a team, starting to make a movement towards the tier 2 tower tops. They want to try and get this last remaining outer tower. I mean, they still have the Aegis for another 2 minutes as well. So there's still a lot of time for them to be able to make something happen. They are very close to some BKBs. So let's see how much of a rush they are. Mars, 2 components. Void Spirit just needs about 500 gold. See, they're distributing a lot of the farm right now to the Void Spirit just so we can get that BKB, but it looks like it's just the game of kite the Ages right now from Radiant. You know, they're looking for their own BKBs. Invoke one. Agent P's got his own.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Dude, Mars is actually so farmed. Blink Yules, he's got the Aghanim shot as well. They're actually thinking about going high ground. They want to force a fight. Okay. I mean, Aegis in the hands for another minute here. They will back off. So they're going to think otherwise. They got some lanes to shove out. They got some BKBs to pick up as well, which is, I think, is the big thing. Iron Sliver is a nice item. Titan Sliver is a nice item. They're even super close to the Abyssal Blade as well. Monkey? He's silent, so he can't get down on the low ground. They're going to try and drop the Swift Slash with the counter initiation. Mars not going to be able to get the spear up, but now with the silence to the backline hookshot as well. Once again, the teamfight execution from Dire. They'll drop the Wukongs ready. They need to try and disengage, but now with the Omni Slash, multiple USF, they're going to cast it up in the air. TK protect, and they bring him down to the low ground as Jug gets melted. You see, they use these items to deal with the Juggernaut. They're able to take these fights and mitigate his damage as Dire connect on the Monkey King. They keep him alive through the second life, and they will punish Radiant there. A massive team fight won in their favor. And now Radiant do not have glyphs available. Dire will absolutely melt through these objectives. They got a catapult wave mid. They got a catapult wave top. And this is going to be at least 2 full sets of racks. At least 2 full sets. Man, what a team fight. Arenas once again, these choke point fights. Like, if you're stuck in the arena, how do you deal with the tombstone? We've seen these tombstones. They haven't been able to kill it. I mean, the Wukongs is shredding them apart. Everything's shredding them apart. I mean, they can fight. Xeon? He's got to be ultra dead. They even find Agent P as well. It's a nice stance from the Death Prophet. He'll pop the BKB, but at least they'll just turn to the Viper, knowing that the Viper doesn't have the magic immunity just yet. Buyback forced out on the Tusk, but the positioning there from Radiant, still with the Juggernaut and the Grimstroke dead, and they don't have to back off. TK can just get another catch here. Jug's still down, does respawn. Now, but Sans, Psycho wants to drop the Wukongs. Thought they would have found the kill on the Tusk. But that was not the case there. With the Wukongs on cooldown, TK not having any mana, are they going to stick around? I'd probably see them back off, considering Monkey's got like 5,000 gold. Yeah, 5,800. Yeah, definitely time to back off, reset. But you've done the objective damage right now. It's 2 full sets of racks advantage, 21,000 net worth lead. It is just not looking good. Can they even, like, what's the Jug got? Going Abyssal next, but it is a full item behind. Incoming. No, this one's, what's the probability? Oof. Jeez. That's rough. That's no good. When you see probability of 100 and Monkey still doesn't even have BKB. So he's going to have a 10-second duration as these fights get to the later stages, which is so difficult to play into. Like, so difficult to play into. They can just get reset. I mean, Roche is up in a minute here if they really care about it. But Clock will probably push out one more wave, then come bot.
Do it with flair.
They want to wait for Roche, or looks like they're thinking about it. All in all, I will say I've still been very impressed with Radiant's vision. Like, Radiant have still had very good wards constantly across the map. They've not really been getting dewarded at all. So props to them for at least how creative they've been with placing their vision, but you know, it's not really helping out too much right now. They're unable to use their vision aggressively to find these pickoffs, which is the big thing, and they're not able to use it for information on where they can farm across the map as well. It's just a slow bleed where by the minute you see this net worth lead continuing to grow up to 22,000 now.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep, that looks like just what's going to be the case here. Radiant. Are they going to try and smoke up to contest this Roche? Like, it's up and available.
Has been killed.
That Aeon disc for the Grimstroke. And there's a DD in front of Roche as well. A double damage rune.
I restore my connection to the void.
Getting a DD in front of Roche is like, whew, that's just the icing on the cake. They don't even need it. Look at him. I mean, I will say, Dyer taking Roche compared to Radiant, a lot less. It's not as easy, but it doesn't matter. Like, we're nitpicking on something we shouldn't even be nitpicking. They still took it pretty fast. And even if Radiant came in contest, you're going up against all the Monkey King illusions in the area. You're going up against incredible Roche fight potential. And this is it. Now you got Aegis with the double damage rune on the Monkey King. Looks like Tusk is going to get caught out here potentially. Psycho Smoke's going to pop. So they're going to see him. They actually get the jump on the high ground. Viper's in trouble. Nice BKB. He's able to dodge, but now with the Abyssal Blade, he's going to drop the Wukong's Jug. He might end up getting brought down as well. The bashes are there. It gets a Blade Fury off for the last second. Jug's able to make a little bit of distance here. Psycho continuing to chase. So is TK. They've got the damage to be able to find the kill. And now with the buyback available, Jug's going to be able to rejoin the fight here, but they are still pushed back. Dyer, no one has dropped just yet. They're going to try and reset back off towards the tier 3 tower. As Radiant with the buyback on the Juggernaut committed. This is now give them a big opportunity. As soon as Jug dies, this game is over. They know that the Exorcism's on cooldown as well. Gonna move in. Psycho. Nice Lotus Orb, Psycho. That was just a Swift Slash. Now it looks like Jug's just Blade Fury has to disengage, and that's more space here for Dyer. Closer the Monkey's gonna get towards that Wukong's command as well for a fight that breaks out throughout the later stages. They gotta do something. I mean, it's about to be Megas. I'll drop the Orchid. Lotus Orb once again, man! This Swift Slash doing nothing. The Snowball as well is gonna go aggressively deep in because of the Lotus Orb. But Xeon's just feeding away the Jingu stacks. Now they're able to catch up the Juggernaut with the Blade Fury on cooldown. That's all she wrote. Juggernaut buyback down for 110 seconds. Radiant forced inside the base. But without your main damage source. And there we go. They'll call it. The G's are dropped as Dyer. Very, very impressed with how they were able to play the early, mid game, and honestly late game as well. The lanes, I think that Monkey King lane went a lot better than I expected. I'm surprised they actually didn't try and go head to head. I think it's as a Tusk, whenever you draft a Tusk, you've got to go for a first blood, whether that's starting with a tri lane up top and then moving the position 5 down bot, whether that's making aggressive smoke movement into the enemy team's bounty, whether you got to do something. Tusk rotations were strong to set up for the Viper. Orchid probably didn't help them out a lot as well. They were able to recognize when they needed to group up with the Death Prophet to be able to use that Exorcism, but it's just Dyer were able to execute. Whether it's, it was honestly, their decision to take those fights around the choke points where they have a very good lineup to be able to take a fight like that. And you just thrive in a close-knit environment, and that's where we really saw Adelaide take a lot of these early engagements, and that's how they're able to accumulate such a net worth lead early, and they didn't look back from there. They continued on with that net worth lead, getting over the 30,000 mark, and just a beautiful performance overall from the boys over on Adelaide Uni. And now with a performance like that, I mean, it's going to be a lot of momentum after that game 1. So we'll see if we're going to be able to continue with that momentum here for Adelaide Uni Esports, or if they're going to end up slowing that momentum down in the second game. But we'll send it over to a short break. Game 2 coming up shortly. A very dominant game 1 performance here from Adelaide Uni, and it looks like they're going to be going back to the dire side, which worked incredibly well for them in that game 1. We're intrigued to see if they're going to be able to continue with this momentum heading into the second game, or if the boys over on UNSW War are going to be able to even up this best of 2. We see the bans already coming out and a couple of the first phase picks as well. UNSW, they had enough of the Mars, they've had enough of the Monkey King, banning both these heroes out in the first phase, putting a lot of emphasis on what worked well for them. It was just a overall dominant performance. Everything was going right. Just what they were able to get across the map, and I'm honestly not surprised with this, the fact that they banned those heroes out. I'm a little bit surprised about this opener though. I think the Lion and the Tiny opener gives you a lot of magic damage burst, and even Adelaide are going to Kiro, so these are some supports we don't see too much. Tiny's definitely fallen off considering that Avatos combo did get nerfed a little bit. We see the Jakiro as well was not really played a whole amount.
10 seconds remaining.
I only see Jakiro sometimes to deal with like pushing
5
strats, like
seconds remaining.
very good in the lane versus the Furion. Beastmaster's okay. Like with the Faceless Void, with the Naga, you need some way to really set up. But I don't mind it honestly because they have the Clockwork to set up. That's honestly one of the other better ways to play with the Jakiro, because now you have the hookshot into cogs, very far distance.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Sets up for the Macropire, and it's like, and now UNSW as well, they can't really pick up like a Rubik here unless they flex the Tiny and put the Tiny like mid. But you know, we saw in those previous games it was the supports getting picked up, and I think more than likely it's going to be once again all 4 of these heroes will be supports.
5 seconds remaining.
Like my one thing to say, I think a lot of the teams
Dire team ban.
should try and put more emphasis on not going for all their supports in the first phase.
Team ban.
I think you miss a lot of the, because I mean now look like how many are banned out: Mars, Monkey, Ursa, Beast, Ember. They banned OD, which is interesting. I guess they're banning Core OD, but
10 seconds.
if you got second pick, you have so much
5 seconds remaining.
potential to pick up a carry
Dire team
in the
ban.
8th pick, and then you protect it with the 3 bans in the second phase. So you protect with the 10th, the 12th, and the 14th.
10
And
seconds
then even the
remaining.
the first pick on Radiant, like this is your first pick and second pick are
5 seconds
very
remaining.
hot commodity from a lot of teams. If you go first pick, it means you more often are heavily prioritizing getting
Dire team pick.
having these 2 counter picks in the second phase, and then also being able to have one of the meta heroes and one hero that you think is just OP to pick up, and they go for a line, which I wouldn't say fits that role.
Radiant team pick.
And what's with Vipers? The boys just like Vipers, alright.
Dire team
If that's
pick.
what you feel, that's what you feel. A lot of magic damage on Radiant. A lot of magic damage on Radiant. A lot of stuns as well, which I will say, like, if I'm down for some stuns to get picked up. That is
10 seconds
some of the better
remaining.
ways to play Dota. Stuns make it just a whole lot more easier.
5 seconds remaining.
If you're stunned up, you've got just as equal talent as someone with 10,000 MMR.
Ten seconds remaining.
That's just, we always see like it. You can always
5
reiterate it.
seconds
I should say
remaining.
you can always drag it back to the fact of if you're lineup without stuns, you can just see how difficult it is to play fights. Just get kited into oblivion, make it very awkward with how you set up. Slows as well can kind of help.
Radiant team ban. Puck!
And I go for a puck. All right. I mean, there's not a whole lot of control. It's honestly a pretty decent puck game. I don't mind Jakira versus puck just because the long range catch in the ice path.
10 seconds remaining.
But Adelaide have to go for like a D.
5
Like they need a
seconds
mid
remaining.
now to stun the puck. They have to flex the Viper as a 3. And they've got to go for some way to lock the puck in place. And I think DK is probably the best way to do
Dire
so.
team ban.
In the mid matchup, Void Spirit's not bad as well. Although I really don't like Void Spirit this game. Too many stuns. But they're probably worried with how well TK played the Void Spirit in the last game.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
What do? They ban the Arc Warden. Okay, interesting. Well, what we saw the Arc Warden played in the series on Sunday, which, man, if Arc Warden, such a filthy hero. I'm glad that Adelaide banned it out. Like, ugh, that's nasty, nasty stuff.
Dire team ban.
Orca ban too. Okay, find it. I mean, they're just. I think you're looking for more of a direct way to be able to catch the puck. What are some of the mid options? I really think DK is the best.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Like I'm trying to look available. Man, DK looks so good. There's a lot of magic damage though. Like they actually might be able to burst the DK down.
10 seconds remaining.
So what do you do if you put the Viper mid? You're looking for your
5
off lane.
seconds remaining.
Morphling.
Not a bad Morphling game. Really, like this is a free Morphling game. You love getting the Jug Replicate, the Blade Fury for the magic immunity, the healing ward. There's no stuns you're worried
5
about.
seconds remaining.
The Sand King Aghanim's factor is great. Like this is a great Morphling game. You've got so much armor as well, so you don't really care about the Jug's physical damage. Like this is I'm all in for this pick. Now Adelaide need a stun for the puck and they need a Spirit Vessel carrier. You could I don't know how I feel about Viper going Spirit Vessel. Honka. Trying to think of mid heroes that can go Spirit Vessel. Man, this Morphling is kind of dope. It's a lot of magic damage though on UNSW. So Joke's got Blade Fury, is going to be protected for quite a while. Once that Blade Fury ends, he's going to have to be very, very careful. We honestly could see him pick up a BKB. Viper needs early BKB. Morphling's pretty hybrid with his damage output. A lot of magical, a lot of physical. Once you get that E-Blade, magic really skyrockets. Once you get a couple of items, then your physical starts to pick up. But it is a very, very hot Morphling game. Huge fan of the pick. Keep reiterating it, but I'm alright. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. Where do they go?
Axe.
You may now select your heroes.
Well, it's they didn't really have a way to initiate. It was just the clockwork. So I don't mind. I don't mind it. Jump. Yep. Kind of what they were lacking. Now that they have the axe potential to be able to start these fights, I still love the Morphling. Like, I think if we're realistic here, I think Morphling carries this game. But they have to get out of the laning stage. Like, it's not going to be too fun of a lane. Like, Lion's not the greatest hero. So like we'll end up seeing how that one's gonna end up faring. But yeah, Morphling super early on is not a good laning stage hero. Like, you are very vulnerable to getting pressured early. Lion is super weak as well, so I can kind of just see Lion like feeding his life over and over again. But that's if you get to the stage where Morphling's like fat, then Morphling wins this game. And I believe you can do it. Just needs the boys to back him up. Just needs the goons to give him a good game. And if he gets that good game, then he's going to be straight chilling. It's a very aggressive move coming through from Dyer. Scout out at least the positioning. They're going to get a nice D-ward though. Jeff, instant. There we go. So important. Anyone that is not aware of what just happened or what Jeff just did, if there was an award there, then that tower would not have hit him through the little area behind the tree. But because the tower did, means that there's a ward on the right side. It's just a must thing. Like, whenever you have the capability to do so, whenever you're running by, you really should. Love that from Jeff, just giving him a little bit of advantage. You know, gets some experience. Even gives, Viper some experience as well. But how's this matchup going to fare? You see TK, it went Nether Toxin, but he's not even using the Nether Toxin. So, sometimes we see a lot. The Viper at level 1, at the first wave, you instantly just chuck up the Nether Toxin, shove the wave in, get level 2 as fast as possible, and then with that wave underneath the tower and your level advantage, then you just harass at a tremendous amount. Because you do have the poison attack. The tower's not going to aggro. That's cute. Thinking will still take a lot of damage here though. Blade Fury along with the dual breath, they're actually going to be able to pick up first blood here. So the toss into the Burrow Strike does not go in their favor.
But first and best, we will not forget this.
I just get a cheeky first blood. Psycho. Once that is going to be a lot of regen. Meanwhile, we take a look how this bottom lane's going. Morphling for last. It's sitting pretty comfortable at the moment. I mean, they need to put a lot of priority on giving Morphling solo experience. Just so he gets closer and closer to that level 3. once you get an extra point in the attribute shift, it's gets that much more difficult to find the kill. And then he will get to the stage where he can actually kind of trade with the axe pretty well. If they don't pressure, like, the first wave, sorry, the first level 1 and level 2 had to go really well for Dire. Otherwise, now the Morphling should be feeling pretty comfortable. He's actually not even able to run up. This is partially because they doubled the creep wave over so far. Top Jeff might be okay with the dual breath attack slow. Will be okay. Puck's just making space. They blocked the small camp. I did use it previously.
Radiant's top tower is
How's the
under
mid matchup gone? DK, 19 last hits compared to the 11 right now on the puck. Puck's got a little bit better of a damage advantage, but the issue with the Viper, and well, this is what you'd love the support to do. Double stack, pull the wave. Radiant are well aware of this, but they're going to get a full wave denied here. Maybe not. You have Caustic? He does. Never mind, he gets a lot out of it. At least Jugs, you've reset the creepy equilibrium. Jugs gonna farm safely under the tower. Looks like Sand King actually just wants to pull the wave here and try and get immense amount of farm. This is just a... It kind of looks like a play that Radiant like to do, where they put Invoke on a hero that can play solo a little bit and have the Tusk. And not Tusk this game, it was last game, and it's pretty similar because Tiny's someone who does want to make those rotations. You see, he's got the boots, he's got the windlace, so would not be surprised if we see like a smoke rotation or like a rotation to the Puck's lane once Puck hits level 6, which should be in 2 waves. About in a minute, probably should get it. How many denies? Viper's got 7 denies, it's a bit of an issue. Maybe not at that stage. This is definitely a kill if the Lion oversteps the mark. They got 2 points battery sold. Unfortunately, Invis is about to expire. They have a sentry? They do. Must have just seen the clockwork top of the Observer Sentry combo. So they're still going to bring the Tiny down, but they want to at least secure one of the bottom runes, and they will be able to do so successfully. I think WDK is going to be fine though. So it leaves Invoke solo. He's okay as well. So it's going to be actually a 3-for-1 with the bounties. Very nicely done.
Silence. Puck out.
Puck dead?
Behold.
Bit of a late poison attack for the Viper strike. They keep that bounty there for him? They did. Oh yeah. Nice, that's what you love to see. Nice rotation though, there we go. The level 6 tosses out of the coil, doesn't get the break, but still it's plenty of magic damage. No point up in that corrosive skin, so no magic resistance here. It's going to be pretty important. Once you get it maxed out, will be 25% magic resistance. Definitely something you're going to be a huge fan of against the pretty much full magic damage that Radiant have, honestly. Like, it's a stupid amount of magic. But once again, I mean, Jug's getting pretty much uncontested farm.
has been killed.
Meanwhile, the Morphling's kind of suffering at the moment. They're going to try and kill off Deadman, but he's already got Vanguard, and when he's a beefy boy, but when he's so deep like this...
Radiant's bottom tower
They have him though? Moves 310, Clockwork's wrapping down. He's okay. Man, Deadman is... Woo! My dude's tanky. He's eating abilities. That's really nice for them because you take a look. Meanwhile, TK's getting some solo time mid as the Puck tried to force a rotation top. They're still going to try once again, but Axe is pretty much healed back up to full.
A prize.
What do they have this time that they don't? I mean, don't really have the mana combo for the Tiny.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Deadman's had a very good lane right now on the Axe. He's actually got 3 points up in the Battle Hunger. A lot more of a commitment here. Is this the same carry player as last game as well? So maybe I swear he had a different name. Like, I'm like 100% certain. Just 100% certain he did. I can't speak because Jug's actually going to be able to find a kill on the Sand King up top. Very nicely done.
Radiant's middle tower is under
WK.
attack.
Got the Viper nearby. Viper's actually going to back off. They didn't have the greatest vision in the area, so looks like he was a little bit paranoid about some extra heroes nearby here for UNSW. That was a kill that the Jug got without using the Omni Slash, so I wonder what they want to do here, because Jug right now is free farming. Do you send the Jug down bot? Because with Omni Slash, you're definitely stronger than the Morphling. And it's eventually going to get to the stage where Radiant make the rotation, which they are doing now. The only issue is that Jug just Blade Fury TP's out more than likely. I'll try and chain lock him down. One, but he's fine. And now with the Blade Fury, instant TP from the Clockwork. He's got to be careful because the magic immunity is going to expire. They even drop a ward in the backline. So Radiant actually have a timing where they can kill the Jug here for a couple extra seconds. Oh my, he used the ground instead of the... Oh, that's not good. They're actually going back in. I mean, Jug still going to be very careful, man. I don't think that's a spot you want to be. They get the coil. Clockwork's going to get brought down here to the eastern side, and Jug's even going to end up falling as well to the last right click from the Lion. So that's something we were bringing up. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is a place where Jug wants to be, even though he's free farming. You know, it's more than likely that Radiant, you're not going to make plays to the Morphling lane. So the Jug just has to get out of the lane. You got to go down bot. You're so strong with Omni. Force the Morphling out of that lane. Do exactly what the enemy team just did to you. And I don't get anything out of it. Actually, T1 tower is going to fall. Deadman's done a lot of damage. He's also really fat, man. Like, he's going to have such a good timing on this blink. Like, it's actually going to be ridiculous. Super impressed with the Axe. Has had a very good laning stage. 70 last hits at the moment as well. He's on top of the last hit department. Top of the net worth department as well. Radiant. Smoked up. Viper's Haze is about to expire, but the smoke does pop. Just on the edge is going to get clipped here. They are still going to run into the Tiny, but WDK dropping that Observer Ward. Let's get them out. Now they're pretty deep here as Tiny is going to get punished. Even Deadman's coming over. Try and snag that one with the color. If he got that, I mean, it would have been then like one creep off the blink, but he should get it off this wave, I imagine. And now this is Dire really need to make plays. They've got two heroes now that are actually really good with the Jakiro, because now you got the Axe as well. You just need to like AoE initiation. Got that in the Clockwork. You got that in the Axe. Quick Sand King coming down. They drop the coil. Nice cooks. Gonna slow down the Sand King's initiation. He does still make it towards the middle of the fight with the Burrow Strike, but they're gonna end up turning. It's a buyback coming through for the Viper, but they even have the magic damage to burst down Deadman as well. So it's a double kill for Invokemon. As did he buy out for the blink? He didn't. Really nicely done.
What have we here?
Killing the Axe before he picks up the blink dagger. Exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of the boys over on UNSW. I might even try and find the Juggernaut as well, but there we go. Yeah, this game, until they get the Aghanim's on the puck, they don't have a way to be able to get him out of the magic immune TP out factor. Like we saw in that previous game, the factor of the hook shot there. Puck's even going for a Witchblade as well, which is interesting. I don't mind the Witchblade just because they're lacking a lot of physical damage. No, I don't mind it. Armor's not bad as well. He's not, like... Yules is so dope this game, though. Like, I think you go casual Yules. It's great versus the Jug Omni. It's great versus the Axe Initiation. You literally just negate, like, 3/4 of the call. Yeah, maxed out 3.2 seconds. Your Scepter's 2.5, so... You only get to work with 0.7 seconds. Well, Jeff, still only level 5. Agent P, they should have the combo. Might have to drop the finger, and they will, but they're going to get punished, however. Deadman doesn't have the blink just yet, but WDK, at least he's the one that's going to be able to close the distance on the Tiny. So they'll find a rebuttal kill down bot. Even with the Cull movement speed, there's no T1 tower, so Agent P going to try and TP out. But unfortunately, Cole only level 1, so a long cooldown, not going to be able to stop that TP. Joe?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That one death on Psycho actually cost him pretty heavily. He would have had like a... I mean, he probably would have had like a 14-minute Battle Fury. That's going to be pretty late here. Top dead man. Like, revealing the blink now. At least the Sand King's going to buy his blink before he dies, but very nicely done with the combo. And this is exactly what we were highlighting. The Axe with the Jakiro. A strong 1-2 that you've got. But it's a 1,000 net worth lead right now for the boys over on Adelaide. They're doing a very good job just making sure they protect the Jug. You've got... Oh, Deadman. No, he gets the Puck in the nick of time. Look, the Ice Pass follow-up as well. Puck's Orb's already been used, but they could hook shot onto 2 as well. WDK... Cooked a little bit too late. They're going to be careful now with the Epi rebuttal. Invokemon is just going to jump on forward. Shreds the Clockwork with all the magic damage. At least they're able to keep the Puck alive. Was a little worried there. I'd love to see this Ice Path get maxed out. I think it's a great game for Ice Path because you've got Clockwork and because you have Axe. So you have heroes that can actually set up for the stun.
Bounty. My waters rise.
A prize.
And you need all that extra little control you can get for the Puck. Where's the sentry? So, I mean, it's still a very good Battle Fury time. It's not naked at all. You know, he's got the phase boots, he's got the wand, he's got the Wraith Band, so definitely not a naked Battle Fury. Puck's doing a really good job to keep up in farm, I will add. Witchblade completed 2-0-4, 92 last hits. They are taking a little bit of damage on this tier 1 tower mid. But Radiant making sure that they're always nearby. And, you know, we haven't really paid too much attention to the Morphling as, you know, with the Yasha along with the Morbid Blast, Morphling is going to farm very fast. You can't find multiple camps, which is a bit of an issue. But we do see that Morphling's been left alone. Like, Dire haven't even thought about making a movement to the Morphling. They've just been kind of okay with the status quo of this game. I see that. Looks like they're maybe grouping up for a smoke, and they will. Maybe now they actually think about heading up top for the Morphling, which I would very much like. Make sure if they can drop a ward. Oh, this is a great spot. WDK on the high ground. No, they're not in the nick of time, Morphling. Attribute. He's still got a hook shot. Follow up. Deadman Cogs push back on top of the Macropie. Is a lot of damage here. Morphling will pay the price. Radiant, they're coming over with the TPs. Thanking. Wants to try and retaliate. Just get the axe. Clips him with the stun. The rest of Radiant, Xeon's even got his own blink as well. Deadman, nice call. Finds 2, pet up with the Ice Path as well. But Puck drop the call on the backline here. They're going to be able to find 2 heroes from Dire that are lurking in the shadows. Even Psycho's thinking about coming over as well. Drops the Omni Slash. So it's an immense amount of AoE damage. Look at the crits. He finds them all. Psycho just cleans up Puck, the sole survivor in that fight for the boys over on UNSW. That Omni Slash 2800, and that's only with the Battle Fury now from Psycho. He's 4-1-1. 584 gold going to the bank of the Juggernaut. He's going to be so happy. He's almost got this Yasha completed. And that's a big thing. Oh, it's a fat stack. Right by the tier 2 neutral timing as well. So he's picked up a Philosopher's Stone. Be great for the Jakira. He's even got another stack. And another... oh my. Alright, I'm impressed, Dire. You're making some fat stacks for your mans. He's actually going to be so farmed. This is crazy. Radiant. A deep initiation under the T1 tower. There's no rebuttal that's going to come through. And they're going to try and look to lead that kill. Can they lock down the Juggernaut? They might be able to. Hookshot tries to disrupt the extra follow-up here. Jug silence, and he won't be able to get the blade through, but it's a great counter initiation for the Axe. Gets the cult, finds a kill on top of the Lion. Then a turn for Xeon as well. It's a double chopped off the head. Invoke is in trouble. Blink's gonna be up in a couple seconds, but unfortunately the poison attack constantly ticking him out as Deadman decapitates 3 heroes through that fight. Finds a triple. Yes, they lose the Juggernaut, who was incredibly farmed, and meanwhile, Puck's still getting super fat. He's actually even going back for the Yours, which I do like now after the blink. He went cast range instead of damage. We got the Morphling as well. Morphling almost has his Manta completed. So overall, a game that's pretty even at the moment. 20 minutes in. Minimal net worth lead advantage for Dire.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So, again, I'm worried though, because I highlighted that. I think Morphling has so many good Aghanims targets. Dire don't have stuns. Super good versus physical damage as Axe with a Blade Mail. Just, it's such a good Blade Mail game. So many AoE kind of uncontrollable abilities.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Bounty.
And they're just feasting off the map. All the bounties they're able to claim. He's still holding the Fairy's Trinket, which is I kind of find fascinating right now from the Axe. What has he got available? Bullwhip is great. I don't... Do you want the... I mean, Axe does have mana issues really bad. Which a lot of times can kind of be fixed with a lot of clarities, but you don't really want to do that. He did go mana regen as well, so the attack speed, okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait, hey, oh, top lane. Hero gonna get caught out. Radiant have very good pick-off potential. The Tiny Sand King blink, Lion as well. But Jakira's still alive, and Dire actually coming over here. How haven't they found the kill on top of Jeff? Hook shot in. A little bit too close, so they're still going to be able to get that kill on the Jakira with the Avatos combo. But Dire, they're wanting to get a retaliation kill. They're going to be careful how far they overstep the mark, because Radiant setting up for a double back fake here. This Jug might actually get brought down here if the chain lockdown's on point, and it is. Just gets a blade free off, but it's not enough. There's so much magical damage. And at least through the first couple of stuns, they brought him through the threshold where he could not escape with that Blade Fury. Agent P is going to be able to find Deadman as well. Now, he's a pretty tanky boy. And he's right next to the T2 tower as well, but they have to drop the Finger of Death there. Agent P up to 3 stacks now on the Finger of Death. plus 120 damage for him. Unfortunately, he didn't get that kill at the level 12, which would have been really nice for him. Just at least the cooldown getting reduced by 60. It's so stupid how long the Finger of Death cooldown actually is.
Tower is under attack.
And it's off.
The Viper did still, I mean, one thing from Dire is that they haven't used the Spirit Vessel at all. Like, he's got 6 charges and they haven't been trying to smoke for the Morphling. If you go for the Spirit Vessel, you got to kill the Morphling. Morphling's got Manta now. And he's not Mantering off anything else. Illusion's going to be nice to tank the Omni Slash, but you know, Dual Breath, I guess, the one thing you're worried about. Battle Hunger. It's... Yeah, so the factor of them not actually attempting to try and get rid of at least the Morphling is a bit worrying. Just because they would have had a big opportunity now with that Spirit Vessel, but now the Manta, so he's going to be protected. Got a way to be able to dispel that off. He's even going for an Ethereal Blade as the next item here. Okay. So it's just an immense amount of magical damage that Radiant are going to have.
Dire's bottom tower
Yeah,
is under
BKB is getting worked on here for the axe. Viper's actually going for a Sheevad.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
They're going to smoke up. They got Jug on the front line. Jug's actually smoked up as well. Sitting in the tree, Smoke's going to pop Dead Man Silence, prevents the blink from the axe. Jug's still trying to chase down, but it looks like Puck's actually going to be protected with the invis. There is no detection. He still gets a call though. Finds the Sand King down to the southern side of the tree line, and the Ice Path follow-up as well. Sand King, nice burrow. Rides a little bit of distance, but he tries to a TP. What? No way. Oh my god.
Dire's middle tower
He actually
is
made
under
it out.
attack.
That is crazy. That's crazy. My dude's straight chilling. Nicely done. They dodged the smoke gank. A lot of space, and guess who's farming? Guess who's getting fat? It's the Morphling. Third in net worth. The Puck's doing incredibly well to keep up in the farm as well. Puck's going to be going for the Aghanim Scepter next. Such a good item. It is heavily countered by the Wind Waker though, but that item is stupid expensive. 7,100 gold. So the Jug now is very much going to be pressured. The issue is that Jug can get out with the Swift Slash because of the increased cast range. So Jug is more than likely, you got to be very careful. It's on paper, it's a great way to counter the Juggernaut, just because of the factor of the BKB piercing coil and the break. Dead man. Got the call on the axe. I mean, with the blade mail, makes it very difficult for them to go to work. Now with the stun on top of the backline, they find the Jug is kind of protected right now with the Ice Path laying on top of him, and he just dumps the Omni Slash solo on top of the Lion. So they're able to bring down 2 heroes to start the fight. There's a chasing fall for more as well, but unfortunately, we do see this lack of catch right now from the boys on Adelaide. So at least they're going to have to be pretty happy with getting 2 kills. They're getting closer towards these big items here. Like I was saying, that Aghanim's from... Well, who's going to get it faster? Probably the Jug. So once Jug gets that item... Yeah, the Swift Slash is a really big factor. He actually needs to hold the Swift Slash, so I'll be intrigued to see how Jug wants to play around with it, but... And he's even got Implore as well. Doing so much damage in all these fights. And his talents, you know, attack speed, stats. My dude's chilling. Honestly, been very impressed with Psycho. His Monkey King in game 1 was very strong. His Juggernaut's looking pretty good so far. Did die a couple times. I think the landing stage one was the bigger one. But this is an overall really solid game. It's still even though. Like we're just not seeing the Morphling feel comfortable to show up to fights, and this is the thing. Like Jug's at that stage. I think Morphling can definitely show up to fights, but they're taking them where he cannot. Like they might now smoke with E-Blade, which there's so much burst potential. Like they can burst anyone. They're going to smoke up. Do they have a ward available? Because it's going to pop on the low ground here. They got a super, super deep ward as clockwork. Smoke pops. Tiny's going to try and counter up simultaneously on top of the axe as well. Won't have any extra follow-up. So he's able to run himself away, but they do end up losing WDK there. Nice fight for them. They're kind of hanging around the Roche pit. It's not an easy Roshan to take, though. We're gonna try it. I mean, as long as the Sand King can tank. Dire are well aware, though. Gotta be careful. Because the boys are coming over, and they want to try and take a fight. Tanking. They want this outpost just before, but now with the cold. I mean, Axe doesn't have any follow-up, and see the Eurstep, the Candles, the Call was a lot of damage at first, but once the Eels came through, it didn't do too much. They still get the kill on Xeon. They're looking for more. Deadman popped that BKB, but Roche is about half health, and Jug's gonna feel pretty okay with walking back and just claiming it, because Deadman, no, he gets the morph thing without the stress morph. The spin's gonna be there. Morph things able to get away slightly. Invoke more nicely done with the counter initiate. They're gonna drop the call as well. Axe will pay the price. They got the finger. So much magical damage. I do get the ages, so maybe it's worthwhile for them in that regard. The space has been created for Psycho, claiming up that extra life. But a big old fight. Get a decent chunk of gold from Radiant, but you do give away that life like we were saying. Now with 2 heroes down, I mean, it's just probably wait for what items they have coming out. That's all tier 4s. Sliver's going to be great for the Juggernaut as well. Honestly, you might just think about taking a fight. I don't know why he's going Crimson. I don't know. They need magic. It's all magic damage.
Silence.
Dire's top
Dire.
tower is under attack.
Smoked up. Jug in the front line. Hawk's going to run straight into him. He pops the Blade Fury very early on. He's going to be careful because he might get bursted down through the first life. Morphling if he wants to commit with the E-Blade shotgun, but he's not going to. Now Xeon, he's just going to get critted down for the Juggernaut. They might even be able to catch the puck. They're lacking the control. Blink's still on cooldown as well. Instead, they might just turn their attention towards the Sand King. Hook shots off the mark, but at least they have a way to have that constant tick damage to stop his own Blink. So Invokemon will fall. They get 2 kills. A little bit of a
Boom, there it goes.
overzealous positioning from Radiant there, trying to walk into the jungle of Dire with this Aegis advantage.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant structures are
Hawk's gonna be careful. He's underneath vision.
Radiant's middle tower is
Nice
under
phase
attack.
shift dodge.
Silence.
Be okay now.
Here I am.
He might even cut the next wave if he sticks around. Probably should be worthwhile to do so. Is that a bounty still bot? Bounty still bot.
Behold. Silence.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Still, they're going to be able to end up taking that tier 2 tower. He's not cutting the wave as well.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Alright, tier 2 tower is going to claim. They're going to walk up top for the tier 1. We saw what Dire could do in game 1 with the Aegis advantage, and it's going to look very similar as well in this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Psycho just moving on forward with the backup of his team.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
But it's in the best interest here of Dire to continue playing active. They have this Aegis. Your Basher's getting delivered. You've got the Crimson, I think, now on the Axe.
And it's off.
I get brown boots still. Never mind. Like, hang on. I swear these items are built into Crimson, but like, you get boots too. He's got so much armor. I love this spite. He got so lucky with that spider leg, so. Did Radiant get lucky with their neutrals? Let's see.
Bounty.
Essence Ring's not bad. Mindbreaker's not the greatest for the Morphling. You'll take the Philostone though for the Lion. That's nice. He's gonna have Ghost Scepter now. Even yours. Lion's really farmed actually. 6, 3, and 11. Tiny's the one that's not really feeling too good this game. 2, 7, and 13. But Age is gonna tick out in 30 seconds. But we've seen a pretty superb use of that first Ages on Dire. They were able to get the tier 2 tower mid along with the tier 1 tower top. They still haven't been able to accumulate a net worth lead. It's been in the favor of Radiant for about 10 minutes now, coming up to. Radiant have a very big experience lead as well, but the game's sitting pretty even on. See the Vipers, at least with the Maelstrom, he'll kind of keep up. He also did go, he didn't go the attack speed, but he went the attack range and more than likely will go the damage as well. So with that talent build, he'll at least have some scaling potential. Okay, Clock's got pipe. Definitely don't need the Crimson though. Increased attack speed by 30. That's kind of crazy. That's really interesting. What, so it's an 8-second cooldown.
Incoming.
It's a lot of gold though. That's the only issue.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures
Are they actually going to give that up? Your 2 tower mid are not usually easy to get. They give that one up for free. Radiant have very good vision in the area as well. Dire are just thinking about walking up, but they're probably going to force them back. I don't know if they want to go high ground. Without a pick off, this feels very, very greedy. Like, I don't know. Man, they were giving me a goddamn panic attack. I'm like, boys, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. Scotty completed. Dude, like, Morphling is just... He's got 312 last hits. Like, Morphling has been free farming the entirety of this game. I don't think I've seen the Morphling. Like, my dude is actually straight chilling. He's like, hey guys, where are the fights at? I'm just hitting creeps, and somehow Puck is still higher. 708. He's got a really good KDA. This is a hard kill on the Puck. I'd like at least how they're controlling the triangles. They're going to get a pretty easy kill on the Lion. Looks like he was trying to go for a D-ward, I should say. But Dire, if they want to control this area, they need to cut top and mid. Like, they should have stayed there with those heroes and cut that and then backed off. So it would have had time for them to farm up their jungle and then get back in position on the high ground. By the time Radiant want to get up there to D-ward. Tiny? It did scout out him picking the invis, I believe. He went up. Interesting.
Haste.
Any Aghanim shards or anything fancy? Boring. Come on, boys. Where's the Ag shards? Like, what? So, they're all fun. I'm like, if I see someone go for Ag shards, I'm like, alright, you go you. Like, that's just a fun item to watch. Like, Jugs is kind of dope. You move so fast with it. So fast. I still feel strong though. Like, it's Radiant that aren't really taking fights. Like, Dire are the ones grouping up, taking these objectives. I mean, Puck's doing a very good job, and this is what we've seen Puck. This is why Puck is so farm mainly. Because Dire don't have catch. Like, Jug needs an Abyssal Blade or they don't kill the Puck. And he probably needs like Abyss or Swift Blink.
Has been killed.
Because otherwise Puck just does exactly what Puck's doing right now. Honestly, you could probably even think of a Nullified just because of all the Your Scepters. Lions didn't go Ghost Scepter in the end. But even the Force Staffs as well. There's double Force Staff. Sand King's got a Yules. Morphling's got E-Bleed, so... Puck's now got Octarine along with the Spell Prism. So man, oh man, you're going to have a stupid amount of cooldown reduction here. You have to love that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Like, honestly, Puck's just 7-0 and 8. A flawless performance so far from the position 2 on Radiant.
Silence.
They have not been able to touch this hero. He's done such a good job at shoving out the waves aggressively and giving Morphling all of this safe farm. The fact that Puck is actually ahead of the Morphling in farm is mind-blowing. Like, it's just been such a strong performance, but even though the lanes are shoved out, like, Dire still feel confident to be able to walk in Roche because they have the, they got the double damage rune. There's even a Penta Edge Sword on the Juggernaut, so he's going to get 45 damage and a little bit of attack range as well.
Jackpot. And it's off.
And they get it for free.
To the Dire.
Like, what do I drop?
Immortality.
Do Radiant really not feel like they can fight? 43... Look how short of a cooldown that is. Alright, we're gonna see some gems picked up. You need vision now. That's pretty good for the axe. Although Spider Legs is really good as well. What do you want, actually? Probably Spider Legs, but like Ninja Gear is super dope.
It's off.
I don't mind Jog holding it. Just because he doesn't have the boots in the inventory, so he can get from place to place. They might run into the Tiny here. Tiny's very far pushed up. Dead man, still got the blink. He's gonna make it out.
My waters rise.
Tiny successfully popping that smoke.
Haste.
In and out he goes. Very nicely done. This surely is not going to be farming ages, right? Let's go.
Boom.
What does the Jakiro got? What's the Jakiro? Oh, Liquid Frost, that's right. Debuff that slows enemy movement speed by 30%, causes them to lose 20 of... Yeah, it's not... versus tanky heroes, it's stupidly strong, I think.
Do it with flair.
And they're actually just going to walk it up.
Radiant's middle tower is
Swift
under
Slash,
attack.
man, look at the damage. Tiny loses about a third of his health pool instantly. We're going to try and jump on forward, but now the Sand King's in a bit of a peculiar spot here. Dead man with the call as well. Going to be protected with Your Scepter for a little while here. Nice bash though on the last hit. Invoke might still fall. He's getting ticked out by the Macropyre, and they're going to be able to secure the kill with a hookshot in front. Tiny's going to pay the price as well. 2 buybacks instantly coming out. The call gets dropped, but where's the extra follow-up? Morphling is just not right-clicking anyone. Nice Epi. Sand King Bow Strike on 2 as well with a backline counter initiation. DK is going to be protected thanks to the cheese. Juggernaut still in trouble. They're going to be able to deal with the first life here. Somehow Viper will still drop as well. Second life coming into action for the Juggernaut. Going to try and reset the fight here, backing off, but they're moving on forward. Gotta be careful. Toss back once again. Blade Fury on cooldown gets a little bit of space, but now with the Only Slash as well with the core, the damage. It's so much. Look at it going to work. Morphling's going to have to retreat back up on the high ground, but they're losing out on all their buybacks here. Sand King's able to rejoin, but he's stuck out on the low ground here with the bash coming through after. They still got the Swift Slash as well. Bounces back towards the Sand King. A dieback on all 3. Triple for Psycho. It's just the 1 and 2 left standing right now.
Is under attack. Radiant structures are
As
fortified.
up the high ground they go. Dire Some incredible fights.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And they're just going to look to take it.
Radiant's
I mean, what
middle
can you do
barracks are
about
under
it?
attack.
Nothing. Radiant 3 down.
Has fallen.
No buybacks on those heroes. That's
Radiant's middle
all
barracks has
diebacks.
fallen.
And it's off.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now they can just go to work on the objectives. I mean, we're just not seeing Morphling hit anyone. It's been such a passive
Radiant's
game from the
bottom tower
Morphling.
has fallen.
And Dire have now finally been able to get this net worth lead.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Will be 2 full sets of racks advantage.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
What do they want to do? Sand King's still down for 40 seconds.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Do they
has
try and
fallen.
wrap on top?
Incoming.
Or have they had enough? Let's see. Tiny's about to be up. Lion's going to be up as well. They will have multiple heroes to play around with. But your abilities, how can you utilize them here? Going to be a massive last fight. They did with the healing ward, but Puck does it in a very odd way. Puck just gets the orb away. Now it looks like the Lion's in trouble. Your Scepter up in the air, but sets up for the Ice Path to drop the coil. Joke's gonna be careful because he's already used the Swift Slash now with the toss up in the air as well. Bar Strike follow up, but he's got the healing wall. That's actually Radiant with the call. Deadman once again with the counter initiation. He drops the rebuttal. Morphling's in trouble. Just gets the waveform away. They lose the clockwork, but somehow Juggernaut's still alive. Psycho crits down the Sand King.
Barracks are under attack.
He's gonna have the Omni Slash back up and available as well, and they're just going to work on the objectives back towards the ways to win this game. Eyes on the prize.
Radiant's
1 Rax left standing. And that's it. Mega Creeps, 12,000 net worth lead. Xeon's going to try and bring down the Viper. But Deadman, no, the call. Tiny's going to get caught out. Morphling waveformed aggressively on top of the low ground as well. But the Ice Path, he waveformed into the Ice Path. No. He bought out for BKB and that's it. Dire will take it.
Stay near.
An incredible series from them, taking it 2-0. Man, oh man. What a series. They just look too dominant, honestly. Like, it's just... Puck played out of his mind. Did so much work on that hero. Like, oh, just so impressed by the Puck, honestly. Delaying the game as long as possible. But all in all, it just was not enough. Adelaide Uni Esports going to come out on top here with a 2-0 victory in the best of 2. That's going to feel nice for them for their round 1 match. A great performance as just, honestly, I'm just seeing a team that can execute fights at another level. It was just Deadman played a hell of a game on the axe. Some great initiations. The overall team looks very good when they have ages. When they don't, it was a game where it was difficult because, like, what do? You don't have stuns and you're just getting split pushed across the map. So it felt very awkward, but that's going to be our first series of the night, guys. Look at that swing, man. Whew, so far down. So we're going to have to drop the stream for our second series. So I will say, though, our second series, we're going to have UNSW Chicky Mons up against UK Chads. So I should say UQ Chads. So that's going to be our second series of the night. We do have to drop the stream, though, and get that one back up. So that's going to be about 10 minutes because stream's got to drop and for the delay to kick back in. So should be about a 10-minute break before our second series, but don't go anywhere, guys. It's going to be another cracker.